What's up, everyone? I hope you're having a good day. There's a lot to cover today, but where I'm going to start, I know there's a lot of pain in the market right now. Most of you are probably way in the red, which is why back in November, I was warning of the megaphone pattern in the market, and I was suggesting everyone should sell nearly everything, especially if you're at a profit, and consider buying put options. For example, AMC, I was suggesting to buy a $27 put option. Obviously, anyone who did that not only hedged against their risk, but has made a lot of money. Same with GameStop. I was warning that GameStop would drop to around $50 before it short squeezed. And we're seeing substantial drops today across the broad market as well as the crypto market. And I will say I started doing this on YouTube because I just wasn't getting a following on Facebook. Everyone I know is losing their ass off. And the reason that's frustrating to me is simply this. Because I post a lot of my predictions, okay? And I do that to solidify my credibility, not to build a name for myself, but so that I can establish a rapport of trust with people. So they say, you know what? This guy knows what he's talking about. He can help me not only make money, but help me prevent me from losing money. And understand this is not financial advice. Trade and invest at your own risk. But most people have such a big ego. They are indifferent and dismissive, and that's how they discredit you. But at the end of the day, that's to their own detriment, because they're losing their ass off. And the bottom line is, had they taken my advice, they'd have made a shit ton of money, plain and simple. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm not trying to sound like an arrogant, know-it-all prick. But the bottom line is my predictions are pretty much always on point, okay? And the reason I do this is because I want to help people. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to jump right into it. A while back, and I'm going to do a backdrop, to prove this, but I was predicting Workhorse would drop to $5 when it was trading around 15 or 16 and ultimately fall to $3. That's come to fruition. When Sundial was trading around 80 cents, I predicted it would ultimately fall to 25 cents. I believe that's going to come to fruition, and I'll do a video with the backdrop to prove that as well. Now, moving forward, as I've said with AMC, I do not believe there will be a short squeeze until the stock is beat down as low as $6 to $9, and at most $12. That's what I've been predicting. I've been trying to warn people. I've been saying, hey, get put options to mitigate your risk, quite frankly, to make a lot of money. I don't know how many people have taken that advice. Hopefully when this is all said and done, I will have solidified my credibility to the point that people will be able to trust what I'm saying, because if you don't trust me, I can't help you. And that's why I do this, because at the end of the day, people have been panic selling. People are losing their ass off. There's a lot of people hurting out there right now. And that's why I don't come on here saying, welcome back. It's time to get rich on stocks and cryptos, baby. It's the hype, the bullshit. I'm not about blowing smoke up your ass, because even if you do make good investments right now, when are they going to pay off? That's why I was trying to get everyone prepared back, before the bloodbath started. But moving forward, I'm going to cover a few things, and I've made many predictions, but I can't cover them all in one video. I don't know if I just mentioned GameStop, but I believe they'll get beat down to 50 before they short squeeze. Like I said, AMC 6 to 9, 12 at most. I believe the SPY is going to get beat down to 370. I believe the Dow, stock ticker DIA, is going to get beat down to 290. Now, I'm going to mention Beyond Meat. Why? Because it's the most shorted stock on the Russell 1000 index. So the implications are obvious of why I would recommend considering that. But at what level? $50 is where I am suggesting a consideration on an entry point. And again, the implications are there. It's the most shorted stock on the Russell 1000 index, you know, and they're collaborating with McDonald's on their meatless burger. I want to make sure I cover everything I wanted to address in this video. But for those who don't have an understanding of the stock market, it's rigged and corrupt, and at the end of the day, they just want to take your money. It's all like a casino. It's designed to take your money away from you. When they were giving all these stimuluses and trying to get everyone involved in the stock market, and you know, they knew that a lot of amateurs would be coming in, investing, you know, hoping they'd get rich and lose their money. That's the bottom line. And what happens is they plug all these stocks and cryptos, and they get them way up here to their high price targets, right? And then these hedge funds, the shorts, they buy very, very heavy short positions. Then they dump all their shares. So while you're losing your ass off, they're getting rich. And then we get into this situation we're in now, and they're richer and richer and richer. Now, this market we're in now, we may see like the worst crash we've seen since like 1929. Inflation is horrible. It's the worst since, 1982. Now, we know the feds are going to raise interest rates 3 to 4 times this year. Now, most of you know that inflation and interest rates have an inverse relationship. So what does that mean? It means that it's going to take a while for that balance to be restored between the two, to where inflation isn't affecting everything in such a detrimental way, especially growth stocks. So in the meantime, what happens is, well, everything goes to shit. And that's what you're seeing. So basically what I'm saying is there's much more pain to come, okay? And I do want to say before I forget, Bitcoin, I think, is going to get beat down to $30,000. Ethereum, I think, will get beat down to about $1,900. And again, there's a lot of others I'm making predictions on. There are a lot of great opportunities to get in on right now. I'll be covering those in some other videos. Understand, any put options you get in now, I mean, the lower everything goes, the more risky it is. Anyways, these short investors, they're targeting mid-cap and small-cap stocks. So when you're researching stocks and you're trying to find these strong stocks to invest in, you also need to be finding out their weaknesses. Why? Because when they get punched way up here, if you know how to trade options, and if you don't, I highly suggest you learn, because if you don't know how to make money on the way down, you're essentially just selling here, and most people don't have the patience to wait until it drops right down here to buy again. So nonetheless, because if you don't understand a company's weakness, especially the mid to small cap stocks, that's what these short sellers are targeting. And until you learn to think like these short sellers, you're essentially going to be a victim of them, and they're going to keep draining your account dry. So, knowing that these stocks, these growth stocks, are in these vulnerable positions to be targeted by short sellers, what I'm essentially just suggesting is, if they go up really high and they've hit the high, I mean, consider selling and buying put options. And then you need to do your research. You need to, it's all company and stock specific, but you need to know where to sell those, and then you need to know where to buy back in. Rinse and repeats. And right now it's a bloodbath for most people. Most people I know are losing. And again, I never want to come across like a arrogant know-it-all prick, but the bottom line is, my price predictions are always on point. Anyone who heeded my warnings about, back in November about the megaphone pattern in the market, consider selling, buying put options, and buyback down here. At the end of the day, the bottom line is they made a shit ton of money, and they avoided losing money. And again, foresight is crucial. Proper planning prevents poor performance. You have to know how to do these critical analysis of charts. You have to understand the economic conditions and how that translates into the stock market, and how all of this information moves price action. You have to know how these shorts attack. You have to know that when you see a stock shoot up, it doesn't always mean the stock is about to skyrocket. It might mean that this company just bought a lot of shares, and then they buy a bunch of short positions only to dump. It's like the other day when Jim Cramer was telling you, buy Netflix, buy that. I mean, I just can't believe these misinformation campaigns that get away with this, and they have all these viewers, and they're just it's just terrible, And understand, even if these people who sold these hedge funds bought up here and sold here, and it dumps down here, are they losing money? Hell no, because they went in very heavy on short positions. So when they dump and it's down here, they just made a ton of money. You got people like Jim Cramer out here, Investors Place. You got a lot of misinformation campaigns. Again, it's all designed to take your money. And until you get in that mindset, that's why most people's portfolios are in the red. You have to understand that there's a lot of strategies they use and employ against you constantly, and until you learn that, you're never going to learn to avoid losing money and make money. And as I've always said, just as a hedge against your risk, you, in my opinion, should always consider buying put options, because if it does tank, that's a hedge against your investment. So I don't want to stretch this video on out forever, but there's a lot of YouTubers out there you all watch year round. They've been plugging all these stocks, and now what's going on? You're losing your ass off. Did they tell you to consider selling everything back in November, or most everything? Obviously it depends on your average cost. There are obvious factors that you have to consider, but you understand the point I'm trying to get across. Did they tell you that? Did they warn you the megaphone pattern in the market? Did they tell you that everything's going to crash? Did they tell you that you should get put options instead with a long expiration date? If not, why? Because most people I see on here, it's just like, welcome back, baby, it's time to get rich. Woo! And it's just bullshit. They're blowing smoke up your ass for views, and they have discords, and they're making all this money off you. And the bottom line is, most of them lose people money. They're always talking about, oh, it's about to short squeeze, it's about to skyrocket, it's about to take off, and it's all bullshit. I mean, this needs to be taken with a technical approach. That there's a reason they say for entertainment purposes only. I have to say, this is not financial advice. Trade and invest at your own risk. I don't want to be sued for trying to help anyone, but it's not financial advice. It's suggestions. But I'm not going to say it's for entertainment purposes only, because I'm not here to entertain anyone. That's not what this is about. I'm here to help people. And again, it's just an effort to, when you see these videos of me and I have backdrops and it's like I've made this prediction and that, I don't want a cookie, and I don't want any whatever. I'm just trying to solidify my credibility, develop a rapport, so you trust me enough to where I can help you. Because you know, obviously if I come on here and I say, hey, I suck and I can't do shit, you know, you're not going to want to listen to me. But I'm trying to let you know that what I do is on point. And the bottom line is, had people heeded my warnings and taken my advice, you'd be in very good shape right now, period. That's all there is to it. And again, I'm not trying to sound like arrogant or anything, but that's just the reality of it. And I don't like to see people getting financially ruined. You know, I'm a single parent. I have 5 boys, so I realize what it's like. And I know a lot of you are struggling, and you don't deserve to be called stupid and be set up these bull traps and have all your money taken from you, and then end up having to either sell at a loss, or maybe some of you have borrowed money, maybe you're on a margin and you get in a deficit and you got to cover your margin call. And you know, there's people that have been ruined in this. And you know, of course you should never invest what you cannot afford to lose, but again, you really need to understand what's going on here in this corrupt market. It's extremely corrupt. With AMC and GameStop, I've said for a while that there's somewhat of a safe haven in a market crash. Like I said, we all know the short interest. We all know the failure to delivers. You know, we know that apes own the float. We know that once these stocks get low enough where shorts aren't losing millions of dollars, they're going to cover. But who else has told you we're probably going to fall to $6 to $9, 12 at most? Who else told you on GameStop? You know, when I predicted when it fell to 120, I predicted the $100 dip, and now, like I said, and I predicted the 50, and I'm telling you again, I believe it's going to fall to $50 before it short squeezes. I just, you know, I want to help people, but you know, if you know, it's up to you to take the advice. It's up to people to say, hey, you know, this guy's been right X amount of times, I'm gonna listen to him, you know. Or you can just listen to people who have, you know, fancy videos and all these charts and shit in the background going on, and you know, get all excited and their tails wagging and fucking nostrils flaring. That's up to you, man. I mean, I'm not here to tell anyone what to do, but at the end of the day, I'm here to help people, and I'm passionate about it because people are getting ruined, and I take this seriously, you know. Like I said, anyone I know is losing their ass off in this market right now, and it's a shame because I've given the information that could have prevented all that, but their ego's too big, you know. How dare you? Who are you to know something that I don't know? Who are you, you know? And unfortunately, that's just how people are. A lot of, not everyone obviously, but a lot of people. And you know, like I said, this isn't necessarily, like, doing these videos isn't necessarily something I enjoy. It's something I do because I genuinely want to help people. I'm sincere about it. And I don't get to do the videos as much as I want. I wanted to do this particular video sooner, but again, I'm a single parent, and that's why, you know, I always say, you know, if you have questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I'll get back with you. I have one gentleman that's has several comments, and that's totally fine. Like I said, I'm happy to help. You know, just keep in mind, I'm not suggesting anyone sell. If you do sell, as I've said before, can you deal with the psychological pain of these stocks, especially something like AMC or GameStop, taking off without you? And you could say the same thing about Beyond Meat, the most shorted stock on the Russell 1000 index. I mean, once these shorts have made, you know, their money shorting it, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to buy back in. It's going to take off again. So, with that being said, I often say, you know, my timeline predictions. Generally, when I make a prediction, it's a 30-day prediction. However, on Bitcoin and Ethereum, like I said, with Bitcoin, the $30,000 price prediction, and Ethereum with the $1,900 prediction, I think those will be down in the next week or two to those levels. So, again, take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm not saying it's a fact or law, but the fact is my predictions are on point, and everything I predict I have total confidence in, or I wouldn't have been posting all the videos I have and been right thus far. And you know, again, I don't mean to be arrogant. I'm a humble person, but the bottom line is I don't understand why more people on YouTube that are supposed to be helping you, you know, again, why are so many people's accounts in the red if you're watching these people for guidance? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So, whew, I guess that's all I have for now. I do want to throw out, I think Dogecoin is very much at risk to fall back down to about 6 or 7 cents. I know that probably sounds crazy to people, but I know there's a lot of Dogecoin investors. You know, I was, you know, telling people at one point, I think 13 cents was a good entry point due to my chart analysis, but I have to say, I think you need to be very careful with Dogecoin. I think there's a good chance it could fall to 6 or 7 cents. So I just want to throw that out there. Again, I can't cover everything in one single video. I do, personally, on my own time, I cover, you know, research a lot of stocks and cryptos, and, you know, I make a lot of predictions on a lot of different things, and, obviously I can't cover them all on here, but if you have anything you have questions about, I'd be happy to answer it. And, you know, if your portfolio is at risk or something, I'd be happy to help you think of any way to mitigate your risk or help get you out of the shit storm we're in now. But again, to sum everything up, I think there's a lot more pain to come. You know, I do think it's good to have that mentality. You know, we're sharks, we see blood in the water, we strike. Be fearful when others are greedy, greedy when others are fearful. But at the end of the day, you have to understand, at least in my opinion, there's more pain to come. So, you know, just be careful. Be very careful in this market. It's a very risky market, and everything happening now is what I warned about. I warned that it would be the worst crash we've seen in a very long time. Everything going on now is what I predicted, and I did do a video on that to solidify the credibility of that claim. So again, I don't want a cookie. I'm not looking for a pat on the back. I just want people to be able to trust me, because if you don't trust me, I cannot help you. And I think so many YouTubers have given a bad name to just wanting views and a Discord and making money. And, you know, there's, you know, not to badmouth Meet Kevin, but there's people upset with him because he's been plugging all of these stocks, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, and then he sells his entire portfolio. And I'm not hating on him for that. You know, do your own thing. I don't hate on anyone, but what I'm saying to the viewers is, you need to be careful. You need to listen to someone who has proven that they make accurate predictions and give good advice ahead of time, and has the foresight, and has proven that they know how to properly plan and prepare in order to not just mitigate their risk and hedge against the risks, but also, I mean, in layman's terms, make a shit ton of money instead of losing a shit ton of money. So I guess that's all I have for this one. I was trying to think if there's any other stocks or cryptos I wanted to cover. I just don't want to jumble everything into one video. I was just trying to cover some of the ones I feel like are very popular, a lot of people are into right now, and I know there are many more, but I just can't jumble it all into one video. I've went too long as it is. But so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I hope you all have a great day. Hope everyone recovers from this okay, and doesn't let it drive them crazy. I know what that's like. I mean, at the end of the day, this is your money. It's your hard-earned money you work for, and you know, essentially it's being stolen from you. So That's what this corrupt market is doing. So again, I just want to get people prepared in the right mindset, so in the future you know how to approach the market to increase your profits on the way up, on the way down, and mitigate risk along the way, regardless of whether a stock or crypto is on the way up or down. And I guess that's all I have for this video, but thanks for watching. I hope you all have a good day, and hang tight. You know, this, like I said, there's more pain to come. So I will see you on the next one. Peace.